5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Serena.
Hey,
Hey, how you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's happening?
Not much.
How's it over there in Canada?
It's good. It's starting to get really cold now, so that kind of sucks. But yeah,
And you got your nice warm beanie on.
I do. Because I hodl hex.
Awesome. And that's why we're
Yeah,
here today. And we're going to be talking about Hex and Pulse. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Let's say hello to chat, Serena.
Okay.
Who's here?
Here. Oh, Sig Hex. Hey. Brizology.
Hey, Nardo. Mango Junkie. Hex Nurse, Max Benet, Dingo Wolf. Can you see any more?
Crypto Ewok. T-Bird. Hi.
John May, Drewski, Dawsey, 78. Dexter 6961, John May, Mel Tony, there you are again. Good to see you. Thomas Turner, Brizology, Sig Who else
Hey,
we
Wheels
got?
Only.
Don Montoya, have Wales Only, Miss Exquisite. Oh, there's heaps of people here today. Ryan Austin, Ross Hex, Hello Wealth, Doogie Peach. Hey, Crypto King Boom, what's up? Craig Wadding, Mark Stables, Atsaki, Trey, and DBRN. Welcome to the show, everyone. We've got a new lady hexagon, plus we've got some of the older ones and some from last week's show. Seeing as you all enjoyed the show so much last week, we're bringing back some the girls again. They wanted to join because they had so much fun last time. So let's bring on our beloved Chloe. Hey, Chloe, how you going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's been happening?
Just working and living, you know. We're waiting. We're hodling, right, Serena?
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Chilling, yeah.
Yeah. And how's work?
It's going. Nothing crazy, you know.
Nothing crazy.
We had a work party for Thanksgiving yesterday, so that was nice. Like a bunch of us, and me and my friend, and then like 4 of my coworkers, and then their family, and just like hung out and played some card games and stuff, and it was cool. It was fun.
Nice. And I love your background. That's so cool. Did you make that
Dr.
yourself?
Pulse? No, Dr. Pulse in the Hex memes is who shared it. Or at least from what I saw, anyways.
That is awesome.
So,
all right. Who else we got today? We've
Crypto
got
Joker.
Base Wife. Hey, how you going?
Hi, fine. How are you, ladies?
Good. Welcome back.
Thanks. Love being here.
What's been happening?
Not much. Just, went on vacation last month. Saw my family after 2 years, and that was nice. But we're back here, and yeah, I love the beanie on Serena. It's so huddled together and no quabbling amongst us. Just nice Hex fam.
Awesome. And did you celebrate Thanksgiving, Based Wave?
Well, we did. I celebrated Thanksgiving here with my husband yesterday, but it's not something that I'm that used to. Christmas is bigger for us, but yeah.
Oh, nice.
Got a little something.
Cool. All right, let's see who else we've got. We'll bring back. It's Jess. Jess is back to join us. Hey, Jess, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Hi.
Good. What's been happening? Welcome back.
Just life, just busy.
right?
Sorry, I was late, guys. I didn't get the pre-show, so
No, that's cool. That's cool. You're welcome anytime, Jess, and good to see you again. I did see you in the chat in Cabana's stream this morning, which was a bit of fun.
Always. I'm always in Cabana's chat. I love him. I troll. I troll when I'm in Cabana's chat. So that's what I love to do. So
awesome. Yeah, it was a good show, wasn't it?
Yep. Not as good as last week, but no, it was better than last week. It just wasn't as entertaining, I should say.
I'll say, and we got lots to talk about too. Today we'll probably have Maddie Allen come on and possibly Gary coming on to talk about a few things. The Quant Gang's going to bring out a new dating app, which sounds really exciting. We've got lots to talk about today. But first of all, I'm going to bring on a new Hexagon, and this is her first time, so welcome, Hex-Ray Chick. Thanks for coming.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
What's been happening?
Oh, just getting done with Thanksgiving and the family, and now working for Christmas decorations because I'm a freak when it comes to it. I love it.
Awesome.
Cool,
Yeah.
Cool. And well, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on. It's always nice to see ladies that want to come on and say g'day, and who are involved in Hex and Pulse. And your husband's also big Hexagon too.
Yep, for sure. He loves it. He eats, breathes, and sleeps it all the time.
And what's his name?
His is Hex-Ray Vision.
Oh, Hex-Ray Vision. And he's
so
watching.
Hence the Hex-Ray Chick.
Makes sense. Oh, cool. And he's watching you today, is he?
He is. Yep.
Yeah. Hello. How you going? So, Hex-Ray Chick, we've told our stories a few times to the audience how we got into Hex. Because we've been in it for a while. Did you want to tell us a little bit how you and your husband got into Hex?
Sure. So my husband first started getting into Hex in 2013 with Bitcoin. He was like super excited about it. I remember going to like a Bitcoin ATM that spits out like your money. You can buy Bitcoin on it, and taking his picture. And he was super, super excited. So that's when we first started getting into cryptocurrency. Obviously, he got in a little bit more than me, but about the last 4 years, I've been learning more and more about crypto through him, listening to podcasts, people talking, just all of that fun stuff. And so he started listening to Richard about 4 years ago when he was with Ethereum and Bitcoin and stuff like that. And then we've just kind of listened to him ever since on. So that's kind of our story right there.
Oh, that's awesome. And do you watch Richard Hart too, Hex-Ray Chick?
I do. I just heard about his furry balls getting sucked.
Awesome. Yeah, Richard's got away from words.
Yeah, which is bad, though, is my husband's been doing a whole bunch of meet and greets here in town. And we told all of our people that we knew, oh, yeah, Richard's streaming, so we're not going to do anything tonight. Listen to him. And then they all listened to that, and we about died. We were like, oh, no. So, yeah.
And so you like his crypto much as your husband, or is it more his thing?
It's definitely more his thing that he's into, but crypto has been awesome for us. It's provided us an awesome means of life. He's retired now, and so he gets to stay at home with us, which we really, really get to enjoy. And so we hear about it and do it all the time. So.
Well, absolutely. And you're telling me just before how busy your lifestyle is. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, but it must be difficult with what you do to do crypto on top of everything you're doing.
Yeah. So I have 5 kids, me and my husband do. They're from 22 to 6. So they keep us busy. And then I'm a real estate agent on top of that. My husband's, like I said, retired, but I can't retire. I can't do it yet. I'm just like waiting for the day. So that keeps me busy. Plus we're just super active in the community and everything. So we have a pretty busy life, but I wouldn't change it for anything. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And are you excited about Pulse?
I'm so excited about Pulse. So we were in the sacrifice phase. My husband jumped the gun and like sacrificed the first day. And then we were actually able and lucky enough to go in with some people and pile our money all together for Pulse. So we're super, super excited for when that comes out.
Oh, that's so cool. And, I mean, day one was really a good time to get in, believe it or not. It was probably the best day, I think,
Yeah.
starting twice was a really good decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope it pays off. Well, I know it's going to pay off. I don't hope. I know. So we're super excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we were just, I was watching Cabanas Gen this morning, and David Feeder, he's part of the development team,
Mhm.
was saying that we could have testnet very, very soon, the second testnet. And then, well, they were all predicting the launch of Pulse, which David's answer was probably February, the start of February. So I usually listen to him because he probably knows the most. But
Yeah.
yeah, he knows. So yeah, it's all really, really
Exciting.
exciting. What's coming up and everything.
I have a question about your hexagon background. What is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They're like sound. It bounces off
Oh.
sound. So I guess
Okay.
that's what they are, I think.
Gotcha.
I don't know. He put them up. This is his studio. I guess I'm just allowed to be in it right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. That's cool.
Are your children in Hex as well?
Yeah, my husband
Or
actually got all of my kids' wallets like within a couple months of Hex coming out. And so actually our 12-year-old in 6th grade has been converting her teachers at school because she has a staker app on her phone. So she runs around and shows everybody, which is not probably the best thing to be doing. But she's super, super, super excited. And then my lovely 22-year-old actually lost her seed phrase. And we about died. And she found them on a Post-it note when she was moving. So luckily we found it. And my husband's not going to kill her. Yeah. But all my kids are in it, even my 6-year-old. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So cool.
yeah.
Start them young.
Yeah. They all have their own wallets and everything. So
Nice.
yeah.
Get them to work and put their paychecks, part of their paychecks towards it during
There
high
you go. That's a great idea.
Yeah, sometimes it feels different when it's something that you earned yourself than if it's someone else's. At least I got a little taste of that when I first got into crypto because of my husband. He has a much better job than I do, so I just put in a little bit, and it doubled and then tripled, and it was just like crazy. So it's just not the same when it's your own effort and you see it grow than when you see something that maybe it's also yours, but it's at the same time not the same feeling, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I got my kids staked out, but I've got 12 and 15, nearly 16. But I handle all their seed phrases. I don't trust them in my life. I mean, these kids lose their shoes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I'm trusting them with seed phrases.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's all fun. And my kids really aren't interested. I hate to say it, but they're not big on technology. They're like they don't like Bitcoin, they don't like computers, they would rather like not have it at all. But that's another story. Speaking of Bitcoin and Ethereum, have you seen them slump, you guys? I mean, I know the futures ended for the Bitcoin ETF futures ended at the end of the month, but the prices are really, really taking a dump. I mean, I don't know if we're going into a bear market, but you saw Richard's tweet this morning. He was sort of saying, how long did Bitcoin make an all-time high? How many days? And it wasn't long at all.
No.
So, which brings me to my next subject, ladies. Unless anyone wants to talk about how they're going to Hex, which I mean, we all know. We've already said it a few times. So there was a big hack. Did anyone see Maddie Allen's show with the lovely gentleman Hex 19 and hear what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was from my state. So that was kind of interesting to know that he was from the same city and state that I'm from. That's sad. That was sad. It sucks. But it sounds
really,
like he's pretty well off, and it didn't destroy him, which is awesome, but still sucks for something he could have passed down to his family.
Absolutely. And we're not talking about chicken feed here.
No, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
$500 million
Mhm.
in Hex. And I mean, yeah, we all saw it. We saw that huge payout we got in the T-shares that day. Which, how much was it, Serena? Do you
Oh,
remember?
I don't even remember. No.
24 point
24 or something.
Was it 24? That's a decent sized payout. And now apparently, you know how it was 5.7 Hex per T-share per day that we were getting. Now apparently it will never go lower than 5.8 due to that massive influx of penalties that we got. So, excuse me, I wanted to watch the interview because my heart firstly went out to him. Anyone who gets hacked, it's not a nice thing to go through.
Mhm.
And I also wanted to know how. I mean, if you're dealing with millions and millions of dollars, and we've discussed this on our show before, how important it is, excuse me, to have really good security systems. So, as I understood it, he basically got SIM card hacked
Mhm.
twice. Is that what you guys sort of made of it? Because he didn't seem
Yeah.
100% sure, but he was sort of saying that like he went to the airport and then his phone data was sort of playing up, his phone was playing up, and then he swapped the SIM, and then he had apparently had a text file of his C phrase on his phone, and that's how they managed to get into his wallet.
Mhm.
But I also believe he didn't have a hardware wallet at
Yeah.
the time. So, and just a reminder, everyone, you know, C phrases, you should never keep them on a phone. It's always good to have a delegated device that you can only put your crypto stuff on. And always, you know, make sure that's safe because these things can happen. You've seen someone lose, you know, nearly $500 million. So
Mhm.
everyone's just got to be extra careful. Hey, we've got Maddie Allen coming on. I'm just going to introduce him. Hey, Maddie, welcome
Hey,
to the
how's it
show.
going?
Good. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure. Good to see everyone.
Good to see you,
Especially just
Maddie.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
Hey, nice to meet you.
it was such short notice, Maddie. Thanks so much. We've got, you know, Serena, Chloe, Base Wife, and Jess, and Hex Ray Chick is a new Hexagon on. And I've met you before, Maddie, and it's nice to see you again. So, what's been happening? You've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy. I've been going on the US road tour with Abed and Patrick here and there. I went to St. Louis and Chicago and Columbus, and then I just got back from Albany and New York. They were all really amazing experiences to meet up with Hexicans in real life.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Sounds
Maddie.
awesome.
So, are you retired now to be able to go and do all these things?
Yeah, I never thought that when I would retire so young that I would be working more than ever. But now I'm only doing, you know, full-time crypto, doing Hex promotion, Hex Therapy Live, Quant Gang, hexconference.com, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're doing heaps. I mean, you always have done heaps, but I suppose when you're juggling a full-time role, even part-time role, it can be a bit much. I mean, you're the one that organised all the Hex conference from Vegas it was this year, wasn't it? Gee, I'm ahead of myself. And
It's coming on March. I'm going.
there's another one,
Yes.
Maddie. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so if people go to hexconference.com, you can learn about the online version that's happening in January. And if you want to be a speaker at that, you can follow the link there at hexconference.com. And then you can also get a ticket for the in-person conference we're going to do on March 6th through 9th in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's so cool. So just to clarify, you're having an online conference in January and then an in-person conference in Vegas in March.
369 for Vegas. That's right.
369. That's awesome. I wish I had made this Vegas, and I wish could make next Vegas, but we won't still here in Australia. Our restrictions are still they're just not stable enough. But who's going? Any ladies going to the 369 event in Vegas?
I am.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Who is?
All of us.
Me.
I think everyone.
I want to.
Definitely gonna try, that's for sure.
It's gonna be
And
awesome.
What events have you got planned for them, Maddie?
So there will be, it's going to be like an official conference. So this past June, we did something that was more like a meetup where we, shotguns and drove tanks over cars and got together at restaurants like the Hex restaurant on the Strip and did a bunch of activities together, had a karaoke night that we named after Ski Cat. and we gave away a million hex on a live stream that we did there to one lucky winner. And so yeah, it was an amazing time. The more time I spend with Hexicans at these meetups, the more excited I get about the conference. The conference is going to be 4 days, and it'll have a series of different types of talks. So just like for the online conference, we have keynotes. So like, Richard Hart did a keynote this last time. David and Patrick did a keynote this last time. And so we're still keeping those spots open to see who, what big names will want to come. But we already know that almost all the people who are streamers for Hex and Pulse are interested in participating. And so we have individual talks, we have panels, and then we also have workshops. And so that really allows people to either do hands-on learning, which might involve security, it might involve, onboarding people, what are some materials that you can give out, that sort of thing. And then the panels would be more situations where there are a number of experts that are all discussing different aspects of a topic.
Awesome. And the last meetup looked awesome with the tank and going to nightclubs, and I know everyone had a great time, and we were all watching, wishing we could come. As, with the ladies group, we have our own group, and sometimes we talk about cool stuff that we could do when we do come to one of these meetups. And we thought it'd be really cool when we do have a meetup to do like a charity type of thing. Given that a lot of people in Hex do have accumulated some wealth over time, would that be something that we could possibly look at a future meetup?
Absolutely. So, and that's something that's really inspirational, to the people in Hex, such as myself, and people outside of Hex. It's a great way to get the word out about Hex and about generosity and altruism. I know when I was doing my stream on Thursday, Hex Therapy, there were some people in the comments who said that they'd given away, one person gave away 1,500 meals to people in need. Another one was committing to do 9,000 meals to people in South Florida. That was David Morales, who is sponsoring that from his Hex gains.
Oh,
so,
amazing.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
Dave,
it's incredible.
amazing. Dave's watching today. That's awesome. Which brings up the next subject, because that'd be a lot of fun. But you got the Quant Gangs bringing out a dating app. Now, just before we start talking about, I'll just bring Lindsay on.
Sure.
Hey, Lindsay, how's it going?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Good. Welcome back to the show, and thanks for joining us.
She's frozen.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you all?
Yeah, great.
Can you hear me okay?
You're just freezing up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. It's a bit frozen. We're just talking to Maddie, Lindsay.
So I just got to meet her here last week in Albany. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was great. She was one of the people who organized the meetup there, and it went super well. I think it was the best stop that they've had so far, and the workshop was awesome. So thanks to Lindsay. Thank you.
That's so cool. And I don't know if she can hear us. I don't know if we're having a little bit of. Can you hear us, Lindsay?
Oh, you're muted.
We can't.
Anyone know sign language?
Somebody has buzzing going on. Like in the chat, people are saying they hear a buzzing sound.
Really?
From one of us.
Probably.
I hear it too.
But Lindsay's gone. Sorry, she'll come back in.
Now my internet is
going. We can. I don't know how many of you ladies are single. I'm recently become single over the last few months. But Serena, Alonzi, are you single?
Am I single? Yeah. Yeah, I've been single for a while now, so.
Yeah. Chloe, are you single?
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Base wife, you're not single.
No, happily married.
That's beautiful. Jess? Single?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
I can hear a buzzing sound then too.
It's my computer's like overheating, I think.
Oh, sorry, Jess.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Going on mute. Yeah. And X-Ray Chick, we all know.
Shoot.
You single? No.
No, thank God. I don't want to do the dating game again. Like, I feel sorry for all you girls. No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta do whatever you do.
But Maddie, are you
Yeah.
single?
I'm taken
Maybe?
right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Good to hear.
Thank you.
So, the other day we did watch, and we are just having a conversation about Hex 19 and your show. How we were watching. It was so sad to see that gentleman lose so much money. And I know you didn't want sympathy, but it's hard not to feel sorry for someone. When you put yourself in their shoes, it's it's a very, very difficult time. But he was so lucky; he had such great family support, and he's obviously already really wealthy. So if he's already in crypto, he can do that again. He's done really, really well, and he can probably do that again. So but getting back to the dating thing. So Maddie, you were saying that the Quant Gang is bringing out a dating app.
So it started as a joke, right? I mean, we read all the comments in our live stream, and we've been going for 44 weeks every Tuesday night, and haven't missed one. And normally we stream for 4 to 5 hours at a time. And so, the people who are willing to be with us in the comments in the live stream that much, we really listened to. And what we had heard was kind of this inside joke. People were talking about, why doesn't Quant Gang come out with a dating app? Because Kareem and I were teasing each other about our dating stories and stuff. And so, so that's all it was at first, right? And then I was realizing that for Hex Therapy, I needed to basically find a good way to make more material that would match up with what Hexicans really need. And to me, I look at, who's my audience. And so I did a survey about 2 months ago, and I said, how many people are in a relationship, and how many people are single, how many people it's complicated, and how many people just want to know the results. And so out of 609 people who voted on that YouTube survey, exactly 50% were in a relationship, 32% were single, 6% said unknown or it's complicated, and 12% just wanted to know the results. Right? So it's not for everybody that the romantic side of healthy relationships is important. But when it comes to hexicans and sudden wealth syndrome and everything, even your relationship with yourself is super important and can change based on how much money you have access to, and how your social life is going, how lockdowns are going, all that kind of stuff, right? And so I say that it's a Quant Gang dating app, which I think that's really what it needs to be, is somewhere in between Hex Therapy and Quant Gang, because dating is something that it can happen because the universe wants you to meet the right person. It can also happen because you're being intentional about what you're looking for, because you're getting to know yourself, and because you're getting to know the people that would be a good match for you. And so I'm announcing that there's going to be a new chapter of Hex Therapy. And I don't know if I should call it Hex Therapy V2, so I can front run Steph, who I'm like friends with now, who created Staker app, right? And they're getting ready to launch their V2. So just, just a joke or whatever. But the idea is that in the Hex community, we have people who have become suddenly wealthy. We have people who care about self-improvement, and we have a number of programmers and developers and even lots of people in psychology, such as myself. And so I'm hoping that we'll be able to come together. And so if you're a developer out there and you are lonely and you want to, find the right match, maybe you want to come volunteer and work with, a group of people who are trying to create an app that's more formal. For now, what we have is I taught a class on healthy relationships at the community mental health clinic that I worked at, I came up with all the material. I put together about a book worth of worksheets for people, and I found that it actually worked. So over the 5 years that I ran the class, I found that a lot of these worksheets helped people have a better relationship with themselves and then a better relationship with other people. And so these are things that I want to share on my show. And so I'll be able to start doing that. Yesterday, I had a matchmaker on who's also a psychologist. And so we had a 2.5 hour discussion there. But each week, I want to come out with a new episode and to encourage people to have healthier relationships. And so that's the idea.
That's awesome, Maddie. Because you know, I know a few Hexicans have mentioned, you know, they might have the hots for another Hexican, and you know, it'd be great to do something like this, you know. And you know, I think it'd bring a whole new side to this, you know, and also what you're saying, the mental health side. You know, you got your money right. Now you want to get your relationship right. And do you believe there's someone for everyone, Maddie?
I believe that, you know, everybody can have healthier relationships with themselves and with the people around them. And, you know, so if we focus only on the outcome of romantic relationships, then we're missing the bigger picture of how we can have the social support that we need. You know, we can have the personal growth that happens, you know, at the intersection between us and other people. I believe that even myself, I'm a worse version of myself when I don't surround myself with healthy friendships and healthy relationships. And so me having learned more skills really allowed me to be more intentional with who am I surrounding myself with. And then that allows me, it's easier to do the right thing whenever everybody else is doing, you know, the same. So.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're going to bring out the dating app, of course, I mean, I watch Quant Gang every time I can. I mean, I work full time, but I used to watch a lot more. I changed jobs and I don't get as much time anymore. But I've sat through heaps of you and Karim and Wells only talk about T-shares, and I love it. And you go all afternoon, which is great for us. So, you know, we're talking about the Hex Meetup, you know, and look at it as maybe a charity event, plus all the things that you guys already got. Would it be a possibility in future you'd look at, you know, doing sort of like something for the single Hexicans that want to use that kind of dating app?
Like what you just said, putting all those pieces together, you just gave me the idea that maybe we should have like a single auction or something. You know, we could auction everybody, you know, a date with Kareem, you know, a date with all the single Hexicans,
yeah.
you know, a date with each of you ladies that are single and would want to participate, and that the money would go to charity. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, we're allowed to have fun with this, right?
Yeah.
Because the more we can get engagement for people to want to learn how to be better versions of themselves, then that's a win, not only for us, but also for our community and for our bags, right? Because if people are searching for fulfillment in all the wrong places, right, and they're not feeling whole and not feeling like they're improving as a person, then they are going to sell down the price of Hex and buy $10,000 bottles at the club. They're gonna buy expensive clothes that are not a representation of how they feel on the inside, right? There's nothing wrong with showing off how great you feel on the inside, on the outside. That's healthy. But when people are trying to cover up what's going on inside, that's when selling down the price hurts a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to interject just a second. My husband's a dev, so I'm going to send him your way to see if there's anything he can do to help.
Well, that sounds perfect. And I just opened up a Telegram room, and it's just t.me/quantgang app. And anybody's free to join if you want to learn more about any of the things that we talk about on the shows that I'll be doing. We'll be going over maybe the numbers of dating on the Quant Gang, and then the therapy of dating on Hex Therapy. So Tuesdays and Thursdays to tune in.
I think we're going to need a lot more females for this app.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's just another thing that's exciting that's happening in the community. So Maddie, you're the one that sort of had the interview with Hex 19 yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, the day before even. So obviously it looked like that, you were really, really upset about what happened. I could see the compassion in the way you're looking at him, and it was so good that you could do an interview with him. Obviously he's gone through a lot. What did you think about the whole thing, and did you think it was a SIM swap hack, and have you got any advice for any other Hexicans in the same position?
Absolutely. So this was kind of a tragedy, right? Because normally when somebody gets hacked, it's not somebody we know. And this was somebody who has been around in the community the whole time, somebody who had believed in Hex so much that they put in a lot of money really early on, right? And now they don't have it anymore because their account got hacked. And so that, to me, seemed like kind of a wake-up call for everybody. And that, like, luckily Hex 19 was willing to come on the show. Like, he reached out, and I felt really lucky to be trusted by the community, as somebody who could tell the story hopefully in a way that was helpful to others. And he didn't ask for anything, right? What he wanted was for the hackers to not get more than they had already taken, so people could talk about this security. And there are parts that we probably shouldn't talk about publicly, and then there are parts that I think are essential to talk about publicly. But Hex 19, people can listen to the interview themselves, but his main goal was to help others, and really to help us all be emotionally prepared if something goes wrong unexpectedly. It seems like his phone may have been hacked, in the sense that it was SIM swapped, and they got access to some files that had the seed word the seed words in there. And so that just shows us how important it is. If we have screenshots, or if we have text files that have the seed words in them, then we need to do everything we can to make sure we write them down with a pen and paper correctly, so that we don't lock ourselves out of our accounts, right, before we remove that from the easy to hack digital area. And if you want to know more about security, like how to set up a hardware wallet, you can listen to the episode and see where Papa B comes on. And he's one of the favorites in the community for explaining security, and really trusted. And I did so kind of to answer the question of, like, how's the community handling this? I did, again, another survey, right? Because I am not only a therapist, but also a researcher. So I did a YouTube survey, and I asked the audience, like, after the Hex Shark hack, what, are you happy with your current security? And out of 500 people who responded, only 27% said that they're happy with their current security. 33% said that they already took or are taking action now to increase security because of the Hex Shark hack.
For sure.
And 20, yeah. And so that was 33%. And then 20% said they need to learn more about security first before taking action. And 20% just wanted to see the results. So
isn't that crazy? And probably how many people he's probably saved by his misfortune. Yeah. People think twice, oh, did I do this, or should I do this, and are going to take action because of his misfortune. But then that's what kind and wealthy people do. They share their knowledge and share their experiences so we can all learn from theirs. And Day 43 just put, hey, mate, just put something in the chat. Hexsafe.win is Jex's website. He's an Aussie Hexican. He's really smart. And anything related to security, you can ask those questions in that Telegram chat. That's hexsafe.win. The link's in the chat. If you do want to ask more questions in regards to security. Lindsay, awesome. Can you hear us?
Oh, you're muted. Okay.
I am in the country right now. I'm hooked up.
Hey, how you going?
by a lawyer and a prayer. So thank you all for your patience.
No
It's so
worries.
nice to see you all.
Good to see you too. Thanks for coming back. Maddie was just saying he saw you at one of the meetups, the most recent meetup. Yeah.
Hi, we were in Albany, New York, and I'm so grateful Maddie came down to the tour. So fun to have like everyone around us, and I still feel really bad about the steak, by the way. Like I cannot, I'm like usually really attentive to details, and that one got away from me. I was like, so anyway, like.
Oh, it's no problem at all. Yeah, I was bragging on you about how good of a job you did organizing the events. Did it, in my opinion, it was it was the best Hex Road Tour event that's happened so far. And so thank you so much for everything that you do. You're also somebody who specializes in onboarding, and so I really appreciate that.
Oh, that is not me. That is a team. I mean, without Adam, Vibra Finance CEO, and Hex Machina, and Teddy, and T Money, and the Freedom TV Tour, and Crypto Sparbuck, and Patrick. I mean, and you, and like the list could go on forever. Like the guys behind the camera, like that was awesome to see that firsthand behind the scenes, how well everyone works as a team. Everybody's got a job and everybody's got a destination. There's things to do. So our job on the community side is to make that as easy of a transition as possible. You guys are coming in from the outside. You don't know our cities. And welcome. Thank you for coming. Yes. So, I mean, like without Teddy and Hex and Machina and Adam, like that's all collaborative effort. That's not me. I'm just like there too.
Well, thanks to everybody on your team. Yes.
Thank you.
It looks like you were having an awesome time up there in Albany. I think I saw some photos. And
yes, I would recommend only 30 minutes of open bar, no liquor, beer and wine only. Just forward to the cities before. We had so much. We really did have so much fun. We're all like, "What? No, we don't want to. You want to do it? All right, fine, we'll go in there." Like, but when we got in there, the information is like you know what you're getting into because you're in it already. And then to have people in the room that are unfamiliar with it, the excitement is palpable, and that information is valuable. Like you can just feel it in the air. And if somebody is challenging and they have a question, these men, Maddie and Patrick, are gentlemen, and anything that was challenging that came their way, they were 100% able to answer every question straight in the eye, exactly how we all would answer it in their own voice. It was awesome to listen to.
Yeah, we had a couple of people that were kind of borderline hecklers in there, and it went great. Like it was, that's almost like what you would want if you scripted it, would be people who are kind of like saying things that are challenging the speakers, and then the speakers, right, are responding gracefully and intelligently, and so it was fun. It was more fun as a presenter to have people there were so many people in that room that were supporters of Hex, and then there were also people who didn't necessarily know what it was all about. But at the end of the day, it seemed like everybody was satisfied with what they learned.
Yes, we have successfully onboarded over 20 people in the Albany area within 70, almost 72 hours. So huge. That's
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Thank you guys.
Are you guys going to London, the London meetup at all?
No, I won't be able to. I'm not going to London. That's a toss across the pond.
Maddie, you going?
Lucky.
I was gonna go, but then I was thinking really that it would be more helpful for me to stay back and to be on the US side of things. I'm excited for Hexo. I'm excited for Big Kurkowski, Funding Jim, right? Like the list goes on and on. Motley, I think Coffee's going. Like there are going to be so many awesome people there representing, balling out. being locked down temporarily, right? Like doing whatever it takes to, to show up there, to be in the documentary, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's incredible, the community that we have here. It's like, no one person has to do it all. There are lots of people who are willing to volunteer. Look at all of you who are here on stream doing an awesome job of representing. Like, shout out.
Oh yeah, it's all the Hexicans are getting in there and streaming, and that's what I like about Ladies Discourse. Everyone getting on, all the ladies and the ones that come back, just to say good day, and it's also nice to see real people and talk to real people. Spending so much time on social media, especially a lot of people been in lockdown, so they haven't had real life experience. So having so many friends online, it's good to actually see them in the flesh and talk about, our favorite thing, Hex and Pulse, which is just amazing.
Well, thanks so much for having me on. And, I'm going to keep watching after I get off here, but it's been a pleasure to be on with you all. And hopefully I'll see you in Vegas.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Maddie. Take care.
Bye, Maddie.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
See you soon.
Oh, that was nice of me to drop in on such short notice too. My dog's being crazy. She likes to get on the table. She wants to be famous. That's why she's coming. She's a no pointer.
You gotta pay the dog tax. Let us see him or her.
Here she is. Look, say hello.
Oh,
Hello.
I put mine in the room. He'd
oh,
bark.
so cute.
Oh, she just loves being with people, She's one of those type dogs. But yeah,
She's over here somewhere. She's snoozing.
Oh,
Yay.
Sorry about that.
So, Lindsay, are you going to Boston?
I'm not gonna go. No, I can't actually. I can't make it to Boston. Although I wish I could, because I would love to get on that part of the momentum of it. I'm hoping to get down to New York. So fingers crossed. Yeah, I would love to see Boston bring in that energy and pump up those numbers and stuff. Like, it was really. I joke that you guys should only. I was like, going forward, you guys should only have maybe half an hour of open bar. But honestly, that hour of mingling time was perfect. Get everybody in. The first 15 minutes of every party are name tags. It gets weird. None of that at all. Everybody walked in, and you just knew once you got past the sign that said, "Here goes the Hex Meetup." As soon as you get past that sign, you're like, okay, it's safe ground. Where everybody go?
So, Lindsay, I totally know how you feel. We did the Salt Lake City one, me and my husband did. And I loved working with T-Money and Freedom TV and Rob and all those guys. They are freaking amazing. And their energy and their go-get attitude is just awesome to work with. So, yeah.
Hex-Ray ran his butt off in Salt Lake. He was all over the place.
Yeah, in his nice suit. The bar in his suit. He didn't have time to change. So, yeah, I'm super excited for Vegas.
Oh, gosh, me too. It was so fun to watch him in Clark Kent mode,
Yeah.
But I'll say that, we're welcome too. And it's not just us here. It's all of this women in this, crypto space. We are so welcome here. It's just our... I think it's our ability to just kind of jump in, I mean, you have to know everything about crypto. I don't know how to, now I know how to read charts because I was like, oh shoot, that's interesting. Maybe I should have a good idea of what I'm looking at, reading, listening to the videos and listening to the education that we've been getting from the streamers that we're surrounded with. And so I was like, man, it's so important to have a women's voice that's relatable for us because God love whales, but I don't talk like him. We sound very different when the words come out of our mouth. I'm hoping it's a feminine flow. So his is a masculine flow. That's how it should be. But how do we bring more women to this space? I'd love to hear your ideas.
That's true. I think it's very hard to realize how much you end up learning until you start talking with someone who's completely unfamiliar with crypto, and you try to say the same things that you've been hearing about in the streams, and they just blank out and they say, "What? What are those words that you're saying? That's a different language." It's a bit of a bridge between maybe where we are probably right now and where someone who has never heard about crypto is. So bringing something in between that, like that barrier of entry, I don't know if that's the correct term or not, but I think what you're saying is very important. Sometimes it's very difficult for someone who hasn't heard anything. If you tell them or if you share some of the streams of stuff that are already very advanced with the flow, not quite that they're difficult to understand, but that they assume that you already know all the terms and that you are familiar with, for example, with buying and with gas fees and with everything. Just get someone who has never heard about it, and that gas fees, do I need to drive somewhere? What are you talking about? It's like completely a different world.
For sure, for sure. And you know, being ladies, like, you know, having children, a few of us here got children. I mean, not 5 children, but yeah, children, and
Yeah.
working full time, you know, it's very busy time. But I mean, I know for me, I love tuning into crypto stuff. So when I'm not at work or doing kids, I love listening. Like, I'll play Richard Hart's stream, or I'll join in, see what Discourse Syndicate is doing, and jump on, listen to what, you know, is going on there. And if not, I'm researching like what's coming out, you know. I mean, not, I'm really like all in on Hex and Pulse, but given that I've had the time behind me to research what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum is, how it works, and the more you go down that rabbit hole, the more you learn, you know. And like me, you probably all think, I'd love to get this friend in, I'd love to get that friend in, but you know, I've told my girlfriends time and time again, you know, you gotta do this. They're like, oh, I don't have time, you know, can you do it for me? Which I totally get it. Like, it is time consuming, and it is like, it's hard out there. Like, I know a couple of people who got in and then they were going fine, get their wallet set up, and then they click on this stupid Facebook link about Elon Musk giving them Bitcoin. It's like, you know, then they've got their account drained. It's like these little tiny mistakes, which is so innocent, can cost you, you know, your whole stack.
Yeah.
We've got Nick, who's a Hexagon, an OG Hexagon, has been here for a while. He wants to come in and talk to us about a little bit about security. Hey Nick, how you going?
Hey guys,
Hi, Nick.
I'm fine.
Hi.
Welcome
Hi.
back to the show.
Hello.
What's going on?
I got a question for you all. How many people in here actually have a hardware wallet?
Yo, this girl right here.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's a must.
Alright, well, it's like 50-50, okay.
Does it count if you have one, you just haven't set it up yet?
You're closer than I am.
Girl, get it.
Alright, kinda. But if I need to give you a tip, set it up as quickly as possible. Especially if thousands of dollars are at stake, you don't want to take the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What-
anyone that is looking at buying a Trezor or anything like that, any hardware
Yeah.
wallet, just make
Trezor
sure
or Ledger,
Ledger, you're buying
nothing
it
else.
from a legitimate site, because there has been times where these scams make them and package them, and then they send them out, and then you
Yep.
can they steal all your funds. So, and as I said, hexsafe.win, that link in the chat. All those questions you can ask him there. So what you got for us, Nick? What's going on, mate?
Well, I got a Ledger 3 days ago because I heard of the things that Hex 19 has experienced. And I follow all the streams of Wales Only and Papa Booner and yeah, and those guys. And I was like, okay, I need to get me one of those. And I did. And yeah, I honestly don't know why I didn't get them earlier. because
Yeah,
it's
so
really
how long-
worth the it's really worth the extra money to secure a larger bag, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So basically what you recommend, and I'll say it because I never had a Trezor when I started or anything like that. But if you're in crypto and you're like just going what and you're watching your balance go up, which if you wait long enough it does, get yourself protected. Don't wait. We saw what happened to Hex 19. He got duped big time. Get it on a hardware wallet, get it off your phone. Nixon,
Exactly.
where are you joining us from today?
Holland.
And how's the weather over there?
Cold and wet.
What season are you going into?
Autumn, winter, and we're staged up onto the next seasons of lockdowns. So it's not that positive over here, but yeah, we'll have to do what it gives us. I give it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the show and thanks for joining us. In the chat all the time and thanks for supporting the show.
No problem.
It's great. And Lindsay, I didn't ask you. So you've been out and about. You had a few technical issues there. So what have you, apart from going to the Hex meetup, what else you been up to over there?
Well, the Hex meetup kept honestly, like the Hex meetup kept me pretty busy. We're just onboarding. We're still onboarding new users all the time. It's like users. That sounds weird. That's whatever. Poor language on that one, I guess. But we're onboarding new members all the time, and it's
Hexicans.
So yeah. I mean, Hexicans. Like some people are like, hell. Well, for us, we have our own language in this community. I mean, people are like, hell, what? Like, is that racist? I'm not sure. I'm like, no, it's completely safe. Like, we can all call each other Hexicans, and we're really excited about it too. So,
Yep.
so being referred to as a Hexican is an awesome thing. Like, some people that we're onboarding is like, all right, I'm slowly dipping my toe into it. They get really excited every week. So the Hex meetup kept really busy. We did like a little meetup the night before, so we were planning for that, and then the meetup, and then planning on breakfast for the tour crew that came through. They need to know what's good. Like they're on the road all the time. They don't want to eat the same things. Like bring them somewhere that has like a good like meal to eat. Like that's kind of where I felt my role in with that. So,
Nice.
I was like, I went to mommy mode, and that's totally cool because I kept it within like a professional setting too. So I was like, transition zone. I love this. It kept me busy. So happy to have everybody roll through. I'm really thankful.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And onboarding at this time with Ethereum fees like so high, I mean, it's just a pain in the neck. I'll even on Cabana's stream, I think David was saying he got someone in and they're going to buy $1,000 worth of Hex. I think they only got about $700 worth because of the fees.
It's so hard. We had a goal of giving everybody Hex as soon as they could walk out the door with Hex, but instead we have our emails and we'll get a hold of them because the fees were so high. It was logistically not possible. Like I need support with that. I need sponsor. I mean, and it's not me. I don't need sponsors. Like if the community wants more quality community members with them, my goal is to reach women. So the quality community members that I'm reaching for are people like me. They're single moms that want security for their kids. They are women that don't want to depend on a man for financial security. No offense. Like if you have that relationship, like but be grateful. But there are women out there that do not have that security. So, hello, solution. Like we all know the solution. So those are the women that I'm targeting, and those are the women that I need help to donate the Hex to, so that they can get their mind and their mind wealth. Like it's important, right? The mental health aspect of it. It's the wealth mindset behind it. If I can get these women on board to see these numbers grow and believe that their $50 from their paycheck is worth putting into buying more hex, that is my ultimate goal because that's what's sustainable and maintainable for them. So
Absolutely.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
the Poloniex listing could help with that, because I know it's not quite the same as being able to stake it, but eventually being able to take it out of that wallet and then actually stake it, that might help in a way. I mean, that's what I'm going to do for my family. Right about a couple of days ago that it was announced that it got listed, that's when I started just getting a little bit for my mom, for my sister, because I had already told them about it and they had asked how to buy it. And it's so much harder. They are already into crypto, but only a little bit with Ethereum, but they do it through a centralized exchange. So the one that they're in, they don't have hex, so this is easier for them to create an account with that centralized exchange and start buying it, even if they can't stake it. And maybe they start accumulating a little bit of it and then sending it to an ETH wallet once it's a little bit more than just putting in, I don't know, like $100 or something like that. Once they accumulate it, then they stake it, then it could be like a next step that it's going to be a bit less uncomfortable to go through. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, I totally, I thank you that, like it's all about what's relatable, and that gives me another tool to use in my bag. So thank you. It's all about like expanding your perspective and using your intuition when you're onboarding in these situations.
Yeah, and I see that they're asking about the withdrawal fee on Poloniex. I don't know what it is, but what I had thought about that is like accumulating some hex, and then if the withdrawal fee is too high at that moment, but the ETH fee is lower or something, then actually selling for ETH, taking it to MetaMask, and rebuying the hex once in MetaMask. Like, it's maybe worth it to look into it, whether that's a smaller fee or if it's not the best idea. I don't know, but I guess we have to work with the tools that we are given right now while Pulse is not quite out yet. Once it's out, we're not going to have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And once Pulse comes, that's going to bring a whole new opening for mum and dad investors and single women who have that $50 a week, or a month or whatever to put in a hex, and they're not going to be wasting it on stupid Ethereum fees, which to me, to normal people, that's broken. Something that used to cost cents is now costing hundreds of dollars. I mean, that's just a bullshit joke, really.
Yeah.
So that's going to help the experience for sure. It's going to help everybody. Just wanted to yell out to Crypto Heartbeat. Thanks for joining us. I watch all your streams. They're really cool. Good to see you here.
Like the unique makeup and the Young Living, all those selling things that all the housewives are doing. We gotta get those women in,
Amen. How do we make that
there's so many of them, and that literally is a pyramid scheme. Like, they have to get more people,
So
which is
those
crazy.
women are smart women, right? They're really smart women that are looking to make money to support themselves. And instead of turning to something that actually makes sense, like a real product, they're turning to buttery soft leggings. No offense out there to the LuLaRoe shitters. So, I mean, really, go to Walmart, buy your buttery soft leggings there, and save your money and put it into something that's actually an investment. It's not a slam. There was your lesson. Here's your educational tool to move forward. I mean, so how would you onboard someone that is a young sensei? Oh my God, what Mary Kay? Sorry, I couldn't
I would say maybe go kind of swap them. Okay, so this sounds somewhat bad, but in a good way. So go to maybe purchase something from Scentsy, and you're like, oh, well, I make my money doing this, right? And then you bring up the hex, but then also buy at least one Scentsy, so it's not that weird. But then, like making that connection with them about their job and your job, and then they might, combine them, and then they're going to tell their other girlfriends that are doing it, and so on and so forth. But there's so many different ones that we got to go to, weasel our way into each and every one of them, Be like, oh, if you sold extra ones this month, you could turn that profit into this by doing this with staking, things like that.
So,
anyways.
So I think a lot of women aren't in hex, and this is just my opinion, because it's too hard. Like, women like immediate gratification a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So like if I see that, I want to buy it now. I don't want to move my stuff all around and transfer this and that. So when I talk to my friends, a lot of them, for one, like Sammy said, we just don't have time. We're so busy. It's so hard to sit down, to set up a wallet, to get all that information. It's really complicated.
Not necessarily. The Staker app takes like 10 minutes. You get on there, you can buy it all in one place. But if you're selling unique, how many women are you trying to get to buy it over so much time? Like, it's way more work than just, swapping
exactly.
your money and staking.
But they do know makeup. They don't know anything about hex. They don't know what, blockchain is, for one. They're like, what's a blockchain? I have no clue what blockchain is. Foundation, I gotcha. I know what foundation is.
Yeah.
So I think just education, and to actually get them to sit their bums down in a chair and listen is like the number one main goal. Because I think if you can get them to actually sit down and listen, women are pretty logical. Like, it will make sense. Like, hey, I can do this. But I think it's just getting the education out there, is the main thing. I think once you sit down, like Lindsay, if you sit down with all those Cincy representatives or whatever and just talk to them, they might be able to make time or do that. But I think a lot of them, they're scared. It's not financially dependent. It's not secure. It's kind of volatile. And we're scared of what we don't know. So,
yeah, sure.
I have a surprise. This is my best friend.
Hi.
She's just getting off work. So
Nice to meet you. I'm Katie.
Hello.
Katie. Together. But she is also a Hexakin. This is my good friend that I worked to get in. She was super, super sick for a few months straight and was literally not working at all. And so I took one of her shifts and took everything I made from her shift and put it into Hex, and also doubled it with my own money, even though technically both were mine, even though it was her shift. So it would have been like what she would have made. And then I doubled it, and I got her first stake.
Yeah.
Working on getting more.
Yes.
But
Awesome.
anyways.
That's a good friend.
Yeah,
Awesome.
she's the best person I know.
But yeah, so she is one of our local Hexicans, just not really active in the community because she refuses to get Twitter.
That might be a good thing.
That's
I
smart.
understand
It's addictive.
completely.
Don't go there. It's addictive. I don't do anything else all day.
It's very addicting.
Yeah.
Twitter is
Laundry,
just
no.
toxic in some regards, actually.
It depends on who you follow, but yeah, it can get toxic at times.
Yeah, I follow the wrong people. That's what it is.
You just gotta ignore most of it. Keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Twitter's a lot of fun, I mean, I think
Sometimes,
I
yes.
fun on Twitter, and I mean, for me here in Australia, it's like everyone else isn't on. Like a lot of the Twitters are like all from America, that side of the world. And it's like they're all on at a certain time, and then like when I've got time to go on, it's really quiet. But I really enjoy it. Telegram's a good channel as well, and you guys seen how many
Hard to
people
keep up with in Telegram.
Oh, hello, how you going?
Sammy, this is Katie.
Hi.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to
Katie.
meet you.
I kind of just let her butt in. She just got here.
Yeah.
No, that's I'm glad you let her in. I'm glad you let
I
her
wanted
in.
to come. I wanted to come stream, so I was like, I'll be there as soon as I can.
That's so cool. And so, Katie, you're a Hexican too?
Yes, I am. Chloe, she worked a shift for me and doubled what she made that day, and then she put it in for me. Almost a year ago now. We're like 10 months in on that one. Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
That's awesome.
So, that's really cool. And so you're not very active on the Twitter?
No, I'm not. Chloe's been trying, and I probably will eventually. I have a hard time. Like, I am bad at checking my apps as it is, so
Yeah.
the notifications would just pile up.
Lies.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you watch the streams? Do you watch Chloe on stream or watch any of the other Hexicans on stream?
I'm usually at work when there's a stream going on, so this is my first time, being interactive in one and seeing one, really.
Oh, cool. When you're young and beautiful and you're working so much, it is, hard to keep up with all the online stuff.
Yeah.
But did you sacrifice for Pulse at all?
No.
No, she has not been listening to me, guys. Someone talk sense into her. Talk sense into her.
Double the money, but
No. I listen to every word.
Yeah.
So
I
did
just
you
haven't
choose
taken
not to
action.
sacrifice?
Yeah.
She did not sacrifice.
Listening but no action. That
Bad friend.
that's sad.
Yeah.
No, not bad. Just
She's seen everything, so that is on her. Like, there's not any. I have not hid anything from her. So
Honestly, she needs to get on Twitter because I didn't know shit until I got on Twitter. Never used Twitter before, and now I can't get off of it.
Me neither.
And
I didn't use
so
it.
much.
I still barely know how it works sometimes. Like,
So
wait, what?
You gotta just start.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
actually
fun.
very informational. Like, I've learned everything, and I feel like I know a lot, and that's only about Hex, and then there's all this, and then it's like, there's so much. Like,
Have you
and
set her
if
up
you want
with
a
her own
crypto
cold,
part.
have you set her up with her own cold storage wallet yet?
No, she only has her phrase, and she's only got one stake, so we're getting on it.
Yes.
Get on it.
How long is her stake?
That one's 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's all thanks to Chloe, really. Finding
Aw, good on you,
finding
Chloe.
out how it works.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
You get her into Pulse. You got to get her into Pulse, babe. Like,
I'm trying. She said she's gonna be more dedicated after our trip, so we'll
Yes,
see.
I will. I promise. I'm so focused on getting down there.
Delayed gratification.
Generational.
Well, to be honest, I think there will be pretty much balls to acquire when it launches, actually. And many people that are sacrificed and dump it on the market as soon as it launches. So
Yeah.
there's your chance, I guess.
Yeah,
that's how almost all launches go, right?
Yep.
They have a big dump at the beginning, right after they launch.
Yeah, I don't know how big the dump is going to be, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a dump of some sort.
Yeah.
And that's a buying opportunity where
Exactly.
It is the first look. If you get in for the first month, you're going to be fine. I mean, really. And
So is
any
that your strategy? Is that your strategy, Katie, to get in? Like, Katie, is that your was that strategic to get in when it dumps? Like
she. No,
I don't think so.
Literally,
No.
is not up to date at all.
Yeah,
Like, she's
no.
not.
I mean, I'm paying attention. I just
Not technically. Like, yeah.
Yeah, pay
Not
attention.
For, not for like the
not-
full sacrifice.
Yeah, not
like,
not for that.
to
Shane.
know when day one is, like, and
Yeah.
buy on the dot is not something that I don't think she's thought about.
Hey guys, we've
Yeah.
got to coming in to join us. It's Funding Jim. You probably all know. I'll bring him in now.
Buenos
Hey.
Corey, how you going?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
Hey, man.
I was excited to be
Good.
on the
Thanks
show
for
today, but I fell asleep. It's like 3 in the morning here.
Thanks for joining us, and welcome to Ladies Discourse.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's you guys are sharing the wealth with the guys again. You know, I felt like I got included in Hex. I wanted to give kudo. I do it almost every time that Serena's on the same show. One of the really tipping points was her early videos. You know, to come into Hex and to consider it and look at it as far as a potential investment vehicle. And I just wanted to put that comment because so many of us were battle scarred from 2017 that we were like, fuck crypto. I'm not going to talk about crypto anymore. This sucks, you know? And her videos were very just realistic and interesting. So when I got the invitation to come on the show today, I was excited to do so.
Oh, that is so cool, Gary. And that's a really amazing story because Serena, the lovely Serena, is really amazing and has done amazing things from the community from day one. The first lady Hexagon doing her Hex streams on YouTube. They were videos, weren't they, Serena?
Videos, yeah.
And
yeah,
very nice. Very nice.
She's a real MVP.
And it's interesting because, you know, the female quality is a nurturing kind of quality in my mind. Maybe that's a little bit machismo or something like that, my perspective. But, you know, that nurturing side usually isn't the bold one that goes and markets something or says, hey, look at this content, look at this information, and takes that, you know, that heat that might come back through the internet, especially when people are so anonymized and such. So kudos to the slings and arrows that she might have received. She gets mad props now for the community she's built through the butterfly effect and things like that. But you know, just keep doing the work that you guys do on, you know, whether it's this show or your own outreach, or, you know, you have your holiday event and, you know, some relative from a year ago says, hey, what's up with that thing you were talking about last year? You know, it's because of brand recognition. It's because of familiarity that people, you know, broach these topics typically. So very, very, very happy to be part of the community.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Serena, do you want to tell us a little bit about how, like, what you were thinking and what you expected when you brought out your videos? Did you expect to have someone like Gary, who's doing amazing things for our community now, to watch you and find you? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So, no, I didn't expect someone like Gary to watch my videos and for that to be the reason that he got into Hex. So that is just amazing. So I'm glad that happened. But no, when I first started, I just realized there was nobody else on YouTube talking about Hex except Richard Hart. So I was like, okay, let me do a review and a video of is it a scam, just to show people what I thought of it. And yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought maybe people would, you know, say some mean things and, oh, it's a scam and everything. So I got quite a bit of that, but it was something I believed in. So I just kept making videos and I'm glad I did now. So yeah.
Well done. And, you know, I mean, it's just amazing to hear the stories. Like, this story is really unique because, you know, you've made this video, you've put it out there, and then someone in the community has come back to you and said, wow, you know. And so, Gary, tell us more. It's like you saw the video of Serena, all young and beautiful, telling you all about Hex. So what made you think, wow, you know, I'm gonna get into this?
Yeah, and again, it was part of that thing. It was kind of the contrast. I mean, you see, especially in the crypto space, it's very male dominated. And I don't know that that's necessarily dominates the best word. It's just we're interested in, like, our psychology is about the complications or the challenge or the gaming side of things. And so, you know, whether we're giving each other bloody noses in elementary school or whether we're, you know, military kind of combat kind of environments, it's what crypto seemed to be to me in 2019, early 19, when Serena's content was coming back out. So I think I'd already heard about Hex. I think I might have already seen something about it or whatever, but I just remember like, hey, this person's putting this content out there. And of course, she's an attractive woman too, so it held my attention longer. maybe than skipping through thumbnails or something. But I watched all of her content, and it was, every time that she would put one out, like once every couple of weeks or something like that, it was detailed enough that it felt like it was going to be an interesting puzzle about what it does. I thought that the detail helped me relate. And then, it wasn't, I think that was the thing was what, and it was the boldness, right? So I see a lot of people on Twitter, and here's the thing on Twitter sphere, girls can get attention because of their attractiveness, but then their content ends up throwing me out of the interest to follow them, right? They might have 50,000 followers, but I end up saying, I'm not going to follow this person because it's kind of a simp culture kind of thing or something, and I don't want to be a simp. So
absolutely, Gary, the simps are wild on crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross, really, and off-putting.
Yeah. And what I like again, so I remember, everyone probably remembers what was her name, Halpern. What was her name? Layla Halpern or something like that. She did this interview with Richard. And I thought that the questions were relevant. I thought that Richard, obviously being on camera, was an excellent, highlighting the points of what his product and things like that. I thought that was great. And I remember that there was so much like simp action of people trying to get in front of Layla and saying, don't you see hacks? Don't you like hacks? And they were following her as an audience. And then I covered like 2 days ago with Wales, this pay structure of basically the influence crowd. What they actually earn from the product is a good product that they represent to their audience versus what do they earn from feeding their audience to meat grinders. And that's a truth. Layla, I'm not completely throwing her under the bus, but the reason she has 116,000 followers is, one, she's attractive. Two, she made relevant points about Richard, so people followed her. And then afterward, she talked about 10,000 coins since that commentary, 2 years ago or whatever. And she actually is able to monetize that following by telling to sponsors or whatever that, if you pay me $5,000 to $10,000, I'll make a comment about it or I'll tweet about it. Chico Crypto does the same thing. Of course, it's not the same reason, but it's similar. And he makes $40,000 just to cover something for like 30 minutes. I remember when we talked to when Steph made super chats during a stream on Ivan on Tech, and it was $1,000 super chat, and then a couple of minutes later another $1,000 super chat, so that audience that's following Ivan could see or understand the power of Hex. And Ivan on stream was like, yes, thank you so much, but then he said, hey, if you're going to market something, you got to reach out to me directly. Well, he reached out to us as Hexicans and said $30,000 was his price point to comment about Hex. Not about the merit of the technology, not about the utility, not about the product market fit, not about an innovation or potential Nobel Prize winning financial thing. None of that was a concern. It was, what am I going to get paid? And since that date, it now is public or pseudo public that he earns $100,000 for basically making content of one program about one particular product. So we are a single note kind of community. We talk about Hex, we talk about Pulse Chain, we talk about the principles that I believe in of sound money, or you hold your own keys, or the narrative that basically crypto said that it was going to be over the past 10 years. And there's very, very, very few representatives that hold that true, that speak to that truth. So I see the machine of it, and I see the reason that, we get 4,000 or 6,000 followers versus 100,000 or 1.1 million followers. And it is because of the gristle of the audience going through meat grinders that I really despise. So I liked Serena in her initial content, and as I reflect on it years later, I liked it. Seemed genuine, it seemed honest. It seemed like, she wasn't doing it for monetization of YouTube specifically, because really we don't have enough audience as a whole to directly monetize views and have a YouTube check mean something. It really doesn't matter if you have your monetization turned on or not on your YouTube channel. It really isn't enough money to really care about. But basically building the audience is a very tempting thing for sponsors to reach out and get in between you and your audience and pay you to do so. And I thought that, in those moments of Serena's content, that bled through as genuine and truthful and fact-checked kind of content. So I liked it a lot.
Absolutely, Gary, and to you. She's our
Nice.
lovely Serena, always bringing it to you every week, and always a pleasure to talk to her. And she's a really smart lady, aren't you, Serena?
Yeah, she is. Serena's a boss. Oh.
I think it's such an amazing story, Gary. When Serena did tell me about how you got into Hex, I said we have to have him on the show because it's just a really amazing story. And we've had discussions on what you're doing for the community, and we know that even you're traveling the world and meeting all these billionaires, and we thought we wanted to get you on to tell your story about how you found Serena and Hex, and also to tell us what you're doing, like. How's life hanging out with billionaires?
Yeah, so back in 2013, I was really a W-2 employee. I was just a high-paid one. So back in 2013, I worked at 2 different major hospitals in heart transplant and all the diagnostics to do with bionic hearts, or what are called LVADs, or left ventricular assist devices. So my world back in 2013 was basically that. I just sold a lot of my time. 60 to 70 hours a week working for a couple of different facilities. And I made probably around 400,000, maybe 450,000 as income. And that was a single guy with just selling a shitload of time. And my taxation was high because I lived in California. A good chunk of that, probably 40%, maybe 50% of that went to taxes. Cost of living was high. So you would think that that's really great income, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the same lifestyle traded for a time. And so I looked in 2013 at what else can I do? And people kept saying, you should buy real estate, you should rent it out, you should do Airbnb, you should do whatever was going on then. And I just wanted to build a niche kind of spot. So I got property in Palo Alto, 1 block away from Steve Jobs' house, 2 blocks away from the founder of Google, one of them. 5 blocks away from Stanford, which is a very well-known university and institution of technology primarily. And I started an accelerator, basically. I housed 15 to 20 people. We had like a dormitory area, a full office space that had like 15 or 16 cubicles and offices, a recreation space. And I did that partly because I was just pragmatic to say I could do rental arbitrage. The cost of housing and office space in that area is ridiculously high, and I could just basically benefit financially from housing people and putting them together as networks, introducing people to their co-founder or to their developer for their app, or to their their pitch deck being polished and things like that. And because of that, I had a lot of, even though I was medical, I had a lot of affiliation with startup culture people, seed and angel and VCs, internationals and things like that. So that was my world 2013 into 14. I met all kinds of people like Tim Draper, Adam Draper, all kinds of people that were in cryptocurrency, but I knew them mostly because they had startup culture stuff. I knew them because of that. Then my transition into kind of being network or startup or getting out of medicine altogether began with I founded a company. The company was part real estate and part speculation in startups. And one of those people that was a tenant years earlier in 2017 said, "Hey, I'm coming." He was coming from Ukraine. He said, "Hey, I'm going to go to this blockchain event in Santa Monica. Do you want to go with me?" And I didn't really know what that meant. I didn't know what blockchain meant. I heard of Bitcoin and such, but I didn't really know what blockchain was about. And I did go with him, and it was, euphoric. It was kind of this other form of VC that a regular guy could get involved with instead of being, accredited investor and all the thresholds required to participate in pre-IPO stuff. So I thought it was really exciting. And I think that euphoria of 17 into 18, and then the bear element of, hey, ICOs are really prepaying for someone to do 10 years of work and then they just run off with the money. I hated that experience, right? was great as a boom, but was terrible as a bust. And
Yeah, it kind of was.
yeah, and I came back into crypto, partially, like I said, because of Serena, and also because of the product of Richard and the content that he had put out 4 or 5 years earlier that made a lot of sense as far as his improvement kinds of content, pre-crypto stuff that he has. And that coalesced into the community that we have now, obviously 2 years later. The people I associate with now are the same people I was associating with in 2014, is my point. But now I'm talking Hex and I'm talking Pulse Chain. Just in the past probably 3 weeks, I think I'm good friends, more than just like superficial or LinkedIn linked. Good friends, I think, with like 5 billionaires that are separate from each other, than completely different industries from each other. Ken McElroy is a great guy that I brought RG3 out. He came and met. Ken McElroy has 11,000 apartments. He is the right-hand person of every financial decision in real estate, at least, that Robert Kiyosaki does. Jason Hartman is very soon going to be on stream with us and stuff, and he's another influencer that has hundreds of celebrities that look to him as far as real estate related stuff. George Gammon is a pretty big channel. There's all kinds of people that, again, are finance space influencers. And this round of the bull market, what I want is not the hype boom bust element. I want these people that have understand time, monetization of time value money kinds of concepts, these long-term holding kind of personalities that are wealthy now because of that philosophy. I want them to be involved. And your community support, your retweet that you don't think might have any impact, your like, subscribe, follow, all those things like that, they help. They really help. So outward messaging that Richard talks about is very important. And if it's not your messaging, then it's echoing what other people are doing that have influence too.
Sure. So what was it like meeting Kiyosaki, Mr. Kiyosaki? And he's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was really interesting. I had talked with him probably about 45 minutes or an hour in May of this past year or whatever it was. Me and Crypto Coffee went to the Rebel Capitalist live event in Miami, and I had made some specialized swag or gift cards for all the panelists, and it was a great foot in the door to basically start a conversation. And I talked with him a bit about Hex, about crypto stuff, because he had been about Bitcoin, and I talked to him. So when you saw Dollar Cost and Kiyosaki on channel, and Kiyosaki is asking, is Hex better than Bitcoin? The reason he brought that stuff up was partially because it was familiar phrase, it was familiar crypto name. It was something I'd already talked to him about months earlier. And so that brand recognition is what's powerful. We have a great logo, we have a great product name, we have a great community that echoes the sentiment. And sooner or later, someone like Elon Musk will say, hey, I've been seeing this thing all the time. What is this stuff that I keep seeing echoed over and over and over? And it's kind of that same thing. So Kiyosaki then Kiyosaki this past week or whatever, last month when I was at his house and stuff, he was happy, super happy that he was telling me he was an early adopter of Bitcoin because he got into Bitcoin when it was only $6,000. And you don't want to throw it in his face and say, well, a lot of people got involved at 1 penny, or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
His statement, as far as his position, is still his network of people that are closest to him have to be in something before he'll commit to it. So we are working, like I said, toward that endpoint of him being public, as far as camera time and stuff like that, about Hex specifically, because a lot of his circle now does have Hex, and not a lot of his circle can echo those sentiments of ROI,
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you're doing amazing things with the community, Gary. And you've always been, ever since day one when I used to watch you on Discourse. You've always been involved, which is great that you're getting it out there and getting people involved, because it's basically really good for us. And what are your thoughts about the Hex documentary coming out? There's talk of having pre-documentary Hexicans and post-documentary Hexicans. What are your thoughts on that?
So I'm in Europe now, and it is because I'm going to the event in London. And are we talking about the, again, a lot of us have sponsored RG3 and Kinetics have put the brunt, the most of the financing behind the documentarians going around the world and, you know, having specialized cameras and doing all the cinematic kinds of stuff that they're creating. It is because of, you know, people taking out of their own wallet to fund that stuff. And RG3 and Kinetics, buku expense that they're putting into supporting the documentarians. And then of course the God Whale, you know, putting in 100 ETH, that was impressive. He out of all the people to trust as far as to prove his identity on Twitter, that was me. You know, he connected to me and my wallet, right? So
I saw that.
Yeah. So
really
you're getting the professional imagery. The event on the 2nd of December should be great. Yeah, there's a lot of us that will be that you'll be proud of what product comes out of that. I think it probably will release in the spring or summer as far as the final stuff, but the teaser events and stuff like that, and the more content is being generated. There's interviews of all kinds of people from all walks that have participated in Hex. Yeah, that's getting captured now.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Jess, show us that t-shirt. Everyone chat's going crazy. That's awesome. Permabull t-shirt, Jess.
Nice.
Where did you get that? I know you're buzzing, but you haven't said much. You know, did you want to come? Because I know that you're sitting there. I know we wanted to discuss last week's Cabana stream too.
Do you want to do that? Should we give people what they want?
That's totally up to you. But I thought, you know, we did discuss it briefly on Twitter, and it was a really interesting show, wasn't it?
Oh my God, that was ridiculous. I'm not the one. I am not the one to onboard. The hell, Jenna. Y'all want to go ahead, but I'm not babysitting. She is a loose cannon. That was. I watched it I have to admit, I've watched it 3 times now. Has anyone else watched it?
Yeah.
Times. To watch.
Me and Serena had a bit of a giggle at it, actually.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And if anyone else watched it, it was really full on. Jenna was this really full on chick that was on Cabana's stream last week. But you know, Jess, I've been getting a lot of people saying, hey, get her on Ladies Discourse, get her on Ladies Discourse. And I was saying to Serena, it sort of doesn't make sense because she didn't really seem interested in what the boys were telling her. Especially
she's all over the place. Actually, she was disrespectful to the boys, so that's where my problem starts.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to repeat it because, but out of line. And I could just see her. I mean, the last 30 seconds of this stream, she shilled 30 different coins. So, who wants to babysit?
Probably 30 coins that she has in her
I know I don't want my
portfolio.
new onboards to listen to her. So I don't know about you guys, but do you want your new onboards to listen to her? And I know she's hot, whatever, but her mouth, I'm not babysitting her. I'm not onboarding her. I got called out. Hey, Jess, there you go. Onboard her. No. No, I will not.
Like, I was having this conversation with Serena as well, and like people asking for her to come on the show. Like, A, she's not really interested in what anyone has to say about Hex or Pulse. B, we value the people we have on our show, and you know we like to keep a level of respect, even though it may not be the same with the boys. And some of the things she said on the stream were a little bit out of line about herself.
I appreciate out of line sometimes, but Jesus. Watching dollar cost crypto lose his shit was the best thing ever. I was like, that's my spirit animal. Like, I want to do that so many times just in life. So I watched it 3 times because the first time the live chat was lit. I was just paying attention to that. Second time, I just watched each one of their faces,
Yeah.
which was great. And then the third time I listened to what they were all saying. So yeah, it was crazy.
Well, my advice would be to any of the guys, look, we know you liked her and she's a pretty girl and, you know, she's got a out there personality. That's great. But, you know, if you guys want to stream with her, get her on your own stream. You know, don't, you know, I mean, as I said, you know, our time is precious and, you know, we're not just here to entertain you guys. We're here for the whole community. So, you know, if you want to hit her up, that's fine. You know, I don't have a
I
problem.
mean, who doesn't like a good train wreck? I mean, it was fun as hell to watch, right? But no, like, no.
I haven't watched it.
I'm
And now I
not
want to.
complaining. I'm not complaining.
I've only seen the memes, and I thought it would be too much. But yeah, a dollar
You should
cost
watch it.
And
going
poor
red in the
Vince. Vince
face.
is my boy. Like, what she did to him.
Did
Yeah,
anyone
now I'm gonna have to watch that.
Did
You'll have
anyone
to
of
watch
you
it. You have to
rewind
watch
it when DC did the cross? Did you guys rewind that? Because I had to rewind it and I laughed over and over again. It was so
It was the
funny.
greatest thing.
That
It
was like the best.
greatest.
And then his shadows on the wall, like when he got off the
He left.
off the camera, you can still see his shadows on the wall. That was too good.
You can literally watch his face go red.
That's the meme I saw, that his face went red, and it's like
She does.
I don't
She
know what
sucks you in. She sucks you in. All of a sudden, you're watching. And you're like, what the fuck are we talking about? And she sucks you in. And she makes you feel crazy. And that's when he got pissed. But yeah, it was for sure.
It was indeed. And what about the crypto Vince bit? The poor thing, like everyone was sort of like hanging.
That was so hard to watch. You have to watch it like this.
It's true though, isn't it? Because Vince is such a nice man. Like,
I know my sons are
young
huge
woman.
fans of Vince, and they were like, "No,
But she's a woman like that on social media. When she's going to grow up in X amount of years and have to watch that, that's maybe tough for her, but it may not. Maybe that she was being her genuine and true self.
She's a liar."
If you watch that video, you can see her transition.
She said she was gonna hit Vince up in his DMs, and I asked. She hasn't. She's a liar.
The unfortunate thing is that Jenna had an excellent opportunity to receive an education from phenomenal sources. She had that information, that gold mine right at her fingertips. And that's what I'm speaking of, that she will regret someday, is that she did not take that opportunity for what it was.
I don't think she's in the headspace to accept that right now.
No, and I really hope that she can expand herself to accept that, because man, what a opportunity she had. And thank you, Jenna, for showing us what that looked like and not to pass it up in the future. So thank you, Jenna. We all appreciate that. That's what
I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I thought she was actually a bit smart. Like,
she's very smart.
She is smart, but
found her to be smart.
However, it's painful to hear.
It was. It was though.
I'm like, man, if I heard that out of my mouth 10 years ago, I'd be super embarrassed right now.
I think there was a point in the show which we discussed in our ladies' discourse chat that, you know, that is going a little bit too far. And even if you were, you wouldn't admit it in front of like thousands of people. But yeah, anyway, I love the ladies that we've got in our group, and I love meeting new Hexagon ladies, but I don't look at it as some sort of fun or some sort of gig or some point of, you know, entertainment. I don't think that they're here for that. So yeah, so guys, we're going to wrap it up soon. The boys are coming on soon, about 10 minutes, and they have said in the chat, RG3 is basically putting an invitation out to all you ladies to see if you want to jump on Discourse tonight, which is coming up in about 10 minutes. Always fun to get on with the boys. So yeah, basically what we usually do is also go around and like shill our links. Say anything you want to say about Hex or Pulse. This is the time to get on. Of course, we've got some interesting things coming up. We've got Pulse launch, possibly, January, February, hopefully not too far away, which is a whole new era for us. So lots of exciting things, all the Hex meetup. And I'm Steph Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. And if you have any questions, hit me up. I'll answer you. No questions too dumb. Serena Alonzi, you want to go next?
Sure. So if you want to follow me on social media, it's just Serena Alonzi on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
I got something to say.
Yeah.
Stay long, stay hard.
That too.
Long and hard.
Live long and prosper.
Specifically 555.
Yeah. Chloe and Katie, you girls, you better be quiet. What's going on? Shill us your links.
You can find me on Twitter at Chloe Lives a Little and Instagram at Chloe Lives a Little. That's pretty much all.
I'm on Instagram. It's katie.garrett, and my first name's EY, not IE.
Cool. Thanks, Katie, and thanks for coming on the show. It was really nice to meet you.
Thank you. And I'm so glad to be here. It was. I mean, I'm gonna come on more. I wanna learn more and know more. I'm gonna steak more. I promise.
For sure, Katie. Well, we'd love to have you on again.
It's for your own good. It's for
I
your
know.
own.
I know.
Do it.
Pay your future self.
Yes.
Exactly.
Base wave.
I don't know. Well, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm there about 5 days a week at least, and I think I follow every Hexagon back. At least I've tried to, all that I've seen. So my follower count is half as big as my following. I mean, I follow twice as many people than follow me. So yeah, I love interacting with all hexagons. That's, I guess, why I do love Twitter. I didn't really like it that much before Hex. And yep, I'm based waifu. It's just the same as it's written in here, I guess, somewhere. And I'd love to chat with everyone there.
Cool. Nick, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, I think many Hexagons are already found me on Twitter. It's my Nick as a Twitter handle. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Awesome. Lindsay.
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that came out to Albany and all of the crew, the Crypto Sparwa crew and Freedom TV and 55. Like, honestly, they are doing the good work for all of us on the ground. So thank you. You can find me at Lindsay the Hexagon on Twitter, or Vibra Finance on Twitter, Vibra Finance on Instagram. If you need help onboarding, hey, let's get a hold of me. I have a team and we're ready to help you. So anybody that needs to follow up from the Albany event that's watching this, please follow up with me. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here tonight.
It was a pleasure.
X-Ray Vision.
Hexray Chick. Hexray Vision's my husband. I'm just on Twitter, Hexray Chick, but like I said, my husband's on Twitter is Hexray Vision. He's also on YouTube. But I just think everybody needs to get tickets for the March conference because it's going to be awesome. So go out and get that. And thank you guys so much for having me. It was so nice meeting all of you. So I'm excited for more ladies to be on.
Yeah. Good meeting you.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Hexray Chick. Yes. Jessica.
Alchemist Jess, Twitter, Instagram, trolling all the boys streams on Discourse Syndicate. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you all for coming on today. And we are finishing a little bit early just to keep the boys happy. RG3 likes to
Gotta keep them happy.
RG wants his sausage.
giving back his channel. As I said, you're welcome to all go on the next Discourse, the boys show, the meat show. So
Well, you put it that way. See you soon.
And thank you all so much for joining us. You can hang around the green room if you want after this. And
Thanks,
hopefully
everyone. Thanks.
We'll see you. And thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for showing up. Always great to see everyone. Take care.
See you guys. Bye.
Five, four, 3, 2, 1.